Hello class, my name is Samantha Alonso. I'm in Professor James' Intro to Criminology course for the summer term. Today I'm going to be speaking about my approved topic, which is marijuana tourism. So obviously I don't want to just jump into straight what is marijuana tourism, what does it consist of. I want to give a little bit of backstory just into the legalization of marijuana and then later recreational marijuana use, just so you guys kind of have more of a little backstory to what exactly makes marijuana tourism work so well. So this is a little timeline of the history of marijuana legislation. So in 1937, Congress did pass the Marijuana Tax Act, which pretty much criminalized marijuana and anybody who was in possession of marijuana. In 1996, California voters approved Proposition 215, which is a law permitting the use of medical cannabis, despite marijuana's lack of, the normal FDA regulations because it wasn't approved by them. But it still was a law passed just for medical marijuana in California. And then in 2012, Colorado and Washington became actually the first recreational use where you could smoke marijuana recreationally. You don't need a medical card, you don't need any of that. You just go into the state as a tourist, as anything, and smoke marijuana. So these are like pretty much in order the states that legalized marijuana recreationally. We have Colorado and Washington in 2012. Initiatives in Alaska, Oregon, and the District of Columbia passed in the fall of 2014, and District of Columbia early 2015. The rest is Massachusetts, Maine, Nevada, California, Michigan, Illinois, New Jersey, Arizona, Vermont, Montana, and then the most current is Rhode Island. On the map, you can also see where it is legal for adult recreational use in the dark green. The light green is legal for medical use only. The no program, meaning it is strictly forbidden, is the yellow, and then the status pending are the ones that are dark green and light green. So the benefits of legalizing marijuana. So ever since marijuana has been legalized recreationally in those states, the economy, like the area in which it is most, I would say, okay for smoke. So I would say, let's give Colorado, for example, Denver. Denver has actually seen a boom. It is already a very busy tourist attraction and already a very well-visited place, but even that place got a boom. And it showed that actually, I want to say 30% of American travelers have been to a vacation in the past 2 years where marijuana is actually legal for recreational use. And they say that is sometimes something that they actually do go into that vacation thinking and wanting to do. Among those, 30%, I believe it was a statistic, 51.4 of those 30% have purchased marijuana or marijuana-based products in their trips. It also decreases the nation's crime rate. This is a big one because since marijuana and most of our jails are due to probation because of drug use, and the biggest drug I want to say that is out there right now, at least for in this area, is marijuana, which isn't a danger and it does not cause danger. It's already been disproven. So it would decrease the nation's crime rate, and it also creates more job opportunities in marijuana-based related jobs, pretty much. We need plantation farmers, we need people who are able to take care of it, people who are able to watch over the farms, dispensaries, more people in dispensaries, all of that. So what exactly is marijuana tourism? So when I first started researching marijuana tourism, I knew that I had a completely different idea of what it actually was. So marijuana tourism is essentially kind of like a wine tour that they take. They pick you up in a bus early in the morning from the airport. If you want to have the shuttle pick you up straight from the airport, you hop onto their bus. It's kind of like a party bus, as you can see in the picture. Most of the time it is a party bus, picks you up from the airport. I want to stay a whole day to be able to tour the growing facility, the one that I researched. The most average was $89 to $99 to be able to tour the whole growing facility, which is where you see all the plants and the white tarps. The tour also takes you into pot kitchens where they cook with weed. They take you to restaurants where they infuse marijuana into your food. You pick the amount that you like, you taste it, you have a good time. There's weed festivals, which are pretty much like concerts, but just fully for weed. Pretty much people just go there to have a trip and to be able to smoke weed. There's also smoking in the bus. They do have this whole little puff and pass. Most buses do permit it in between you're going to your locations. So I like to see it kind of as a wine tour, except for marijuana. So my 420 tours, this is the first company who ever thought to create marijuana tourism, kind of made marijuana tourism what it is today. It was launched by two Denver entrepreneurs, Danny Schaefer and JJ Walker. They were the first to recognize actually the demand that cannabis travel had, as they would sometimes go on vacation themselves and just think about, oh, this would be so much better with a blunt, with this, and they put two and two together, created their first ever cannabis touring company in 2013, and then they made it a full service agency in early 2014. It blended adventure, experimentation, education, all of that into one little tour. People would take the tour and they enjoyed it and they would recommend it to more and more people, and their business just kind of blew. There actually is a lot of companies that are very similar to the My 420 tours. There is, I believe, High Five Tours, which actually takes you to a waterfall and you're able to walk around the waterfall. And then after, you just pretty much sit around the fire, you relax around the fire. And it's kind of like a camping marijuana, because there is very different. There's one that takes you to hotels, there's one that takes you camping, there's ones that take you to sleep under the stars. There's a bunch of different options catering exactly to what you'd like. There's a retreat, actually, a yoga retreat that is in, I believe, it is in Golden Goddess Getaways, and it is a pretty much yoga retreat that you spend a whole, I believe, couple of days there, and then you just, only women, they go, they relax, they decompress, they let it all out, and that's what they do. That's another company. There's several companies. There's a Cannabis Supper Club, I believe, in California, which is pretty much you eat with everything infused with marijuana, and then they drive you back to your hotel. And then there is also in the San Jacinto Mountains, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's about 100 miles from Los Angeles, and it is kind of like a bed and breakfast. So you're able to smoke in the hotel, you're able to smoke in the buses of the hotel, you're able to smoke pretty much the whole time that you're there. So this is a day in the tour, what it may consist of. You have visiting the growing facility, you have a weed festival, and you have cooking with infused marijuana into your food. I would say, from the research that I did and the reviews that I have gotten, the most just kind of overall review that I have understood from everybody is that they wish that this was more of a okay thing. Not that it's not an okay thing, but more people just wish that it's more open and it's in more than just a couple of states in the United States. So some success in the marijuana tourism. It's actually estimated that it is a $17 billion industry right now from Forbes, but this does not include the $17 billion coming fully just from tourism. It comes from, I think in 2021, $25 billion were of cannabis sales, which legal cannabis sales added up to $25 billion. And then only 4.5 billion of that came from tourists, but that is still a big boom, especially for smaller areas who never saw that kind of tourism before. And then also, those same tourists kind of added up their total to $12.6 billion on food and restaurants and hotels and everything. So in conclusion, I would say it came pretty close to $17 billion for marijuana tourism. And these are just some reviews that I found online. The references are in the next pages, the first 3 references. And that is my PowerPoint on why I have chosen marijuana tourism as my topic.